Okay, I'd like to talk now about religion, universe beliefs, spiritual beliefs, being spiritual within religion, energy healing modalities, and well-being. They kind of all come together for me into a pod of understandings, misunderstandings, growth that is necessary, a place where people need to be, boundary setting. I myself grew up not particularly religious, but myself within the family, my mom, dad, brother weren't as invested in going to church as such. I was christened Anglican, I confirmed Methodist. I used to go to all the youth groups as a school kid, and in high school I went to the Methodist youth group, the Baptist youth group. I think I even went once or twice to the Anglican ones where my cousins belonged. Sunday schools, all of those I did attend. My dad was very, very generous in dropping me off and fetching me after all those events. But I remained a questioner. I questioned forever, for eternity. Every reading that got said, all the stories that got told, I had questions that came into my mind, and I did question. I don't know how very aloud I questioned the questions, because the answers I got, I was never satisfied with. And to this day, I'm still questioning. I'm still looking into things. I still discover, learn. Many will say that I'm gullible in my beliefs and my conversations. I do believe everything, but I don't believe it to the point that that's how I live my life by. I believe in the sense of they've told me the story, so on some level it's got to be truth, or it's their truth. So I was a Christian for a lot of my life. I had my youth life. Going into adult, I married Catholic. I converted to Catholicism. But I still had questions. And then, incidentally, my marriage didn't work out. I got divorced, so that just got thrown out the window. And I followed a different path. My path began on a more spiritual level, the way I believe life now. After my first baby didn't make it, I had full-term birth. She was great all the way through natural birthing. I was doing a home birth, and she got royally stuck within my body. My body doesn't want to do natural birth, and that was the end of story. Subsequently, my children after that, I had 3 successful pregnancies, births. I've got 2 beautiful teenage daughters at this stage where I'm telling the story. My little guy, I remarried many years later, and when my youngest daughter was 13, Kian was born, my son, and he's now 6 years old. And yeah, then I did have another pregnancy that didn't make it halfway through. But then I was 47 at the time, so possibly just the age thing, and it just wasn't meant to be. But going back to my religion into spirituality, that little life that was born that didn't make it, to me, in religious terms, the way I was brought up, you get one life and you get to live this life, and that is it. She was born, and 22 hours later she died. That was it. That was her life. It got a lot of questions added to the other questions going in my mind. And so I began a path. It was a very slow trip forward because it's scary. It's scary changing your thinking from what you've known your whole life. And it took a long time for me to discover and go to talks and read other things. But I was brought books about soul healing. I did read Destiny of Souls. I didn't read Journey of Souls. I think I've got the book of Destiny of Souls, but it was about Michael Newton, I think, wrote those books. And they go down the path of hypnotism, and connecting with the soul within the human body. Everybody knows you've got a soul. That seems to be across the board accepted. Souls are real, okay? And in our human bodies, we have a soul driving our bodies. However, you've got your human thinking, ego thinking, and your soul thinking that comes into it as well. A whole different topic from where I'm going with this one. But spiritual to me is all encompassing. So I believe religion has its place. Your Christianity, Islam, the Judaism, All of them, I don't know all the names of them, so I'm not even going to try and list all of them. And some I relate to, some I don't. But what I have done is I've taken information that I've learned from communications that I've had from other people, and what resonates with me, I keep the information and I work it. So spiritually, I'm more on a well-being, becoming a better person, growing yourself, connecting to all that is. I connect with Mother Nature, I connect with Source, I connect with the angels, and yes, the energies of. There are energies coming in from many places. You know, I do connect with dragons. I love the dragon energy. I love crystal energy. I actually love all energy. I love all the connection of all. So for me, the bigger picture, as I've mentioned in all my videos, or most of, with Live Smart Foundational Development, there just is a bigger picture to everything. However, I know that not everybody believes that. Not everybody sees it that way. And it's a journey for everybody to take, to get to a point of how expanded are they prepared to expand? How big do they want to grow? How much do you want to learn in your lifetime? What you've learned in your lessons, how much do you want to pay forward? What do you want to share with the world? So, you know, on a larger scale of this topic of spirituality, the many stories that are coming in of the world changing, the new earth, this is where life is going. To become a better person, you need to just do better. Not everybody knows how, and they're baby steps that we all need to take. So what I'm wanting to achieve with Live Smart Foundational Development is growing the understandings as best we can with each and every scenario. They're big, but they don't have to be, and not everything needs to happen all in one go. So it's about a process of unfoldment. And a lot of what I say is allow processes to unfold. So any given scenario, any argument, any growth process, any conversation you get into doesn't need to get into heated debates. However, they are healthy to have. So you can have arguments, you can have conversations, but there are ways of getting to a point of let's leave it there for today. It's getting too heated, too crazy, to let's take it up another time. Timing is very important for these conversations. Again, it's about allow the process to unfold. Information that your brain takes in needs 7 days to process. And so when people say let's take that and sleep on it, when you've heard new information and it feels like it tests your passions and you want to take it to another level, do it. It's healthy to do it, but do it in the right setting. Choose your moments, go home, sleep on all the information that you've heard, give it a few days and say, right, I'm ready for that coffee again, let's go and have that argument. Don't cut people out of your life because they're not on the same path as you and they're not agreeing with you. You can't force people to believe what you believe, but you can believe next to what they believe and travel forward together. At some point, the journeys will meet and perhaps they will part again. But at some point, there are times when information comes into your life for a reason, for a valid reason. And it's there for you to either learn, to ponder, to bring the belief back into your own way of understanding things and process it and work with that information that comes forward. Everybody, the 8.5 billion plus, however many people there are on this planet, are not here on our own to just travel our own journeys and get you to believe what I believe. It's about finding a way forward to a better place, to a better way of working together, to a better way of being. And it's what I'd like to hope to achieve with Live Smart's business and joining together our forces to move forward, grow, and find a way forward that works for everybody. Denominations alike, people alike, cultures alike. There are too many beliefs for any one to be the one that needs to be the way forward. But we can work it together, that we can all be a better people, have better way of living, have more joy in our lives, find more ways of growing and developing our ways forward. So in forward thinking with Live Smart Foundational Development, communicate with me. Please email me your questions in any subject that come from any of my videos. livesmartfd@gmail.com. Live Smart FD, FD for Foundational Development. And I hope we can communicate and grow our way forward. So join my journey. Let's create a movement and see where the people can take the people in our groups, in our communities, in our nations, in our countries, continents, and grow it through the world.